Hello, and welcome to Leadership as a Philosophy, Not a Checklist, the Prelude Refined. So this is kind of going to be a leadership case study in itself. I received basically a challenge indirectly from 3 people that I trust on this project over the past year and a half, where they said, hey, can you do this in 5-minute clips? First person, I just outright said no. Second person, I had this discussion. Third person said they weren't even going to look at the work unless it was 5 minutes. So then I realized, okay, that's 3 data points. So I need to have some introspection. So I've taken their feedback and done some long and hard thinking. So here's what's happened. What I'm going to end up doing is what a leader's supposed to do, right? I can't be the hubris. I can't be the person on the top of the hill and says, you must come to me. A leader has to meet people where they are and take them to the goal. After a lot of thinking, I realized that they may be correct, because the way that everybody's programmed nowadays, if it's longer than 5 minutes, it must be useless. That's an issue, okay? Couple of changes. This is going to be just like the Prelude in the original leadership hypothesis, but now I'm calling it the leadership archetype model, or the archetypical leadership model, because that's really what it is. I'm not describing anything new. It's what the leadership archetype has been throughout history, and somehow we've decided to ignore it either during World War II, right after World War II. We abandoned what leadership really is and have turned it into a bunch of numbers and whatnot. So that's the most significant change. So anytime that you hear me say the leadership hypothesis, it's not a hypothesis. It's the archetypical leadership model. It's not mine. It's the archetypes there, and that's what we're going to talk about. So what I am going to do is redo my chapters of what I called Leadership as a Philosophy, Not a Checklist. And I'm going to do 5-minute videos with links to the other stuff. So it's basically going to be an index of all of my work. This kind of feeds into what I was trying to do, or what I thought I was going to do about 7 months ago. I thought maybe I should go back and do a reaction to my initial videos. This is actually going to be better, because now, instead of me having to explain everything, it's going to be, here's my thought, here's all of the things that I have done that prove that point. So what does that mean? That's kind of a challenge, right? As I've said, leaders got to meet somebody where they are and bring them to the goal, not this is my leadership style, this is the only way, this is what has to happen. But after thinking about it for about a month and a half, as I know I haven't been on posting any videos, I've realized that, sure, index is fine, a little thing is fine to get the gist, but you still have to do the work. So that's what I'm going to do. Obviously, all this is for free, so it's like I'm negotiating with the ether. So here's what I'm going to say to you, the viewer. What I want to challenge you with is, if you think that you only have 5 minutes to think about something as important as leadership, you have a problem. Right? If you're in a leadership position and you don't have a half an hour to sit and think about something or do some research on something, then you have a problem. You're not delegating. You have centralized too much power in yourself. You don't trust your subordinates, or your subordinates aren't good enough. That maybe they need more training, right? So you've got a problem if you've only got 5 minutes to think about leadership. Leadership's critical. We know all of the drawbacks and setbacks of poor leadership. So this requires thinking. I acknowledge the fact that everybody's used to 5-minute clips, but think about where we are right now. Look at the state of leadership. It's because of 5-minute clips. So there's not going to be some cute little, oh, here's your leadership thought for the day. There's plenty of that. This is an index so that you can go through and do some analysis and think. The challenge I want you to think about is, we've got management speak that's been going on since right after World War II. We have to excavate the leadership, archetypical leadership model from 80 years of that garbage, which you can't do in 5-minute clips. You got to change your whole paradigm of thought. I hate that word. So the philosophy. Philosophy is a big thing. Philosophy requires thought. Philosophy requires a lot of attention. And so I'm challenging you. I'm doing the 5-minute part. I'm challenging you to think that maybe if you've got the only time you have is for 5 minutes, then you've got an issue. Anyway, that's 5 minutes. So thank you for your time, and good luck with the rest of the chapters.